What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, the infamous Matt, coming back to you again with some College Football 26 Dynasty. Today we got episode 2 in our Temple Owls Dynasty. Man, last week we had it rough with the USF Bulls. We lost in overtime, 20-23. But this week we have our bye week in week 6 of the season. We are 3-2, so this week we'll take a look at some recruiting, see where we need to improve at, and move from there. We'll probably end up playing the next game as well, but I'm definitely going to try to keep this episode much shorter than the last episode. But again, you know, still new to YouTube, still trying to figure things out, so just work with me here, as this is my second video ever, episode 2. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Greatly would appreciate it, as I'm trying to grow this channel, get better at this for you guys. But nevertheless, moving on to our recruiting board, see where we're at. So let's see who needs some points. Looks like we lost Frederick Norwood to Virginia. Pretty much think we knew we were going to lose him though. Nobody else is really dipping. Still haven't fixed our playing style too much. Last episode we were an F. We are now a D playing style for our lurkers. That's the defensive pass yards per game. But we shut the Bulls down pretty much passing. So definitely got better in that area. Don't have any points on Jabari Myers. Probably going to lose him. But we'll go ahead and try to save face. Throw him 25 points. I don't really know. To be honest, I'm not really sure who I want to spend a lot of points on. Let's check out the recruiting list and see if there are any more 4 stars. Any more 4 stars available anywhere? Anybody that wants to come to us? Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of 4 stars that are still very much wide open for the taking. Let's see if we can steal anybody, man. I know other YouTube channels will try to, like, I don't think this is unrealistic. I think it is what it is. I think we do have some appeal here at Temple, so I'm not really worried about getting 4 stars this early into the dynasty. Still depends on their depth traits and everything like that. So just because they're a 4-star doesn't mean they'll be a beast. Don't really need running backs, but it's a lot of 4-star running backs. Need another center, and he's well-rounded. Yeah, please give me Marco. After the game our center had last game, it's terrible. Don't need any of these running backs though, really, because we are going to be depending on Calvin to develop here. We need a receiver. He's probably going to go to Illinois. Will, linebacker, will probably go to Tennessee. I'm not going to waste our time with him. Another same receiver, Sean Winston. Yeah, probably not going to be able to get any of these guys or any 3 stars that we haven't noticed. Who do we need? We definitely need tackles, apparently some guards. We need defensive tackles as well. We are going to need a punter. Go ahead, put Marquise Rome on the board as our punter. I guess, you know what, let's go back to recommended and go to the tackles and see who's available. I mean, not much to work with here at tackle at all. Kevin Harper is pass protector, strength, well-rounded. Told y'all I really do want to focus on like well-rounded, or I'll take a pass protector left tackle, but don't really want a pass protector right tackle. Another well-rounded. I mean, at this point, yeah, we're just gonna have to try to take what we can get. Raw strength, he is a 3-star. David Mendez, raw strength. We got an agile, but he's a 2-star. Still want some quality at this position. He doesn't have any offers. Rico Pete, try to grab him. Well-rounded Shaquille Farmer. Okay, we'll stop there. Moving on to guard. Let's see who's available. Madison Pitts, raw strength, but we are 5th on his board. He's a 3-star, 629 in the nation. Let's try to get Madison. Let me sort this by star rating, because thank you. See, these 3 stars are Pass protector, Jalen Uche. Add him to the board. Let's add one more guard. Well-rounded Desmond Crum. Welcome to the board. Let's move on to D tackle. See what we got here. Definitely got some prospects. Gap specialist, power rusher, pure power. I wonder what the difference between a pure power and power rusher is. Probably pretty similar. But we'll add a couple or a few D tackles here. Head back to the board, allocate the points. See what we're working with everybody. I'll sort by position. Spend some scouting points on Fernando Lorenz. 92 speed, 92 acceleration. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and throw that boy a scholarship. And we'll put some points on him as well. See if we can sway him to come to Temple. So far, he has 0 interest in us, but he doesn't have any offers. So probably should start looking elsewhere, buddy. Wide receiver. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Sean Durbin off the board, because he's pretty much considering Rutgers. They do have him scheduled for a visit, and we're second and sliding down. And he's also a 2-star with 86 speed, so I'm not sweating Sean Durbin. Just gonna let him go. Mike Burns, we did move up onto his board. Okay. Move up with Mike. David Ramczyk should still be able to grab. Still don't have any tight ends. Tackle, we just added a whole bunch of guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at 3 stars first. Pass block, I love to see it. He's a left tackle. Run block and pass block. Wow, Shaquille Farmer's nice. Can't get him all the way scouted because we got to put some points on him. Throw him a scholarship. Same with Rico Pete. Put points on him. Throw him a scholarship. And then let's take a look at those D tackles that we just recruited as well. To be honest, I'm not going to scout anybody because we only have 15 hours left. So let's go ahead, throw each one of the new D tackles we added to the board a scholarship, and that's going to wrap up recruiting for this episode. There's not much else we can do, but it is our bye week, so that's all we pretty much had to do was recruit. But what I do want to take a look here at is the settings, kind of let you guys take a look at the wear and tear and how I have my settings set up. So skill level, of course, is on Heisman. I do have the XP set on fastest. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to faster. I think normal is too slow, especially with it being up to 100 levels. It just takes too long, in my opinion, to actually progress. So we'll move it down to faster, though, because I do feel like fastest was a little bit too fast for realism. I'll turn the manual progression penalty down to 0. Don't think I should be penalized for manually progressing, and it is what it is. You know, that's what skill caps are in place for, so we're going to have that at 0. I think I'll leave the quarter length at 9 for now. Still, I might turn it up to 10. I can't tell if the first episode was just really long because we had to get introduced to the channel or what. But it felt like last episode was really long, so we'll leave the quarter length at 9 minutes with the accelerated clock on. Wear and tear. So I turned up the catch tackle impact by 5. Turned up the hit stick because those should mean more. Cut stick should mean more. Defender tackle advantage, so when the defender is bigger than like the running back or whatever, turn that up a little bit. Sack, I'm gonna turn sack up more because I think if you're getting sacked, 6-7 times a game, you shouldn't be able, that you should really be feeling that. So we'll turn that up to 58 and just try to not take sacks. All of these are tentative. They can be changed if they're a little overpowered. I'm not going based off of anybody on YouTube's recommendations or anything like that. These are things that I've just kind of played with myself and other dynasties. And then we also have the per play recovery turned up a little bit. Per time out between quarters turned up significantly. Halftime is not touched. Week to week is turned up a little bit, and in-game reserve pool will turn up a little bit more. We'll turn that down. And then we'll actually turn up halftime. Between quarter we'll turn back down some. Per time out, turn back down a little bit. Per play, turn down a little bit as well. But we're going to turn that halftime back up. And week to week, back up pretty significantly as well. Max transfers, I did lower from 20 to 18. And I lowered the chance down to 50. I felt like in my Ohio State Dynasty, players were just leaving too frequently, or I felt like it was like they were trying to. If you have it set to 20, it's like, okay, 20 players are going to transfer for sure. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and turn this down to. We'll leave it at 17 because if guys don't want to be here, for sure still transfer. But I don't want it to get too crazy. Yeah, I don't want it to get too crazy. I want it to only be when it makes sense. And I feel like with having the transfer chance down to 50, we're sitting in a pretty good spot. Turn the CPU transfer down a little bit. We'll go one more tick just because I saw big name guys leaving big schools, and that does happen. But like I said, I don't want it to happen too crazily. Where like Lenore Sellers was jumping around to like 3 or 4 different teams. I think Arch Manning left Texas, which didn't really make sense to me, especially when they were like still a championship contender, making the playoffs, all those good things. I don't understand why he would leave. So I don't want things like that happening as much if I can help it. Yeah, I think that's all for our settings. Now that we got the settings out the way, we are simmed ahead to week 7 because week 6 was again our bye week, as we are facing the Army Black Knights up in West Point. They are 1-3, we are 3-2, but we are 0-1 in the American Conference, so we really need this win to get a dub in the conference standing category. Also, something I want you guys to let me know down in the comments is if you like the kind of commentary / coach style that I did for the first game, or if you prefer like a more commentary, like as if I'm a commentator commentating on the game type of style, or if you prefer me to talk more as the head coach and not so much as a commentator. If anybody is going to watch these videos, let me know in the comments as I try to fill this out for myself, see kind of what I want to do as well. But this should be a pretty even matchup against the Army Black Knights, as we are exactly the same rated across the board. 73 overall for both of us, 71 offense, 76 defense. Impact player, of course, is Kerry Brown in the secondary. Yeah, we're 12th in the American Conference, man. So far, USF is up 2-0 conference wins. I will say they're 4-2. That does make me feel a little bit better about that loss to them last week and how close of a game it actually was. Taking a look at our recruiting board for week 7, Lorenzo still isn't messing with us, but he doesn't have any offers. So we'll go ahead and remove all of these and send a house at that boy. And then center, oh man, I forgot about Marco Geekweir. Don't even know why I'm scouting him. He's a 4-star. We're not wasting hours scouting him. Let's go ahead and send some points to that boy, send him a scholarship, see if we can pull him. Louisville's creeping up on us. We really have to get that playing style up. We can't have teams passing all over us anymore, because I think we have a real chance to get Byron Slayton. It just matters if we can fix this play style or not, and we're not going to be able to get him scheduled for the visit before he goes to Louisville. So we might end up in a position battle with Louisville. We might lose Byron altogether, which would suck. But we got to fix that playing style for a lot of these guys. Don't even want to scout Jalen Uche. Let's just put some points on him, man. We don't have that many hours. Scouting is going to be tough. Put some points on these guys. The D tackles that we picked up last episode. Marquise, we picked him up this episode. I think I'm losing my mind a little bit. Marquise Rome, we'll go ahead and throw him a scholarship for the last 5 hours. And yeah, recruiting is gonna be tough. I'm really gonna depend on the portal in these first couple of years until we get more hours, because you can't do too much when you don't have any hours. So kind of is what it is. We have guys with no hours going toward them, but they're 2-stars and whatnot, so we're not too concerned. Alright, so unfortunately for this part of the video, we're not going to have any gameplay audio because there was an issue when I originally recorded this and exported everything. There was an issue with my voice not matching up with the gameplay, so got to do a little voiceover for the actual gameplay so I can go ahead and get this out. Yeah, so we're going to get into it, man. Just bear with me. Mascot is a donkey. But yeah, with no further ado, we got the Temple Owls going up against the Army Black Knights up in West Point, New York. Let's see if the Temple Owls can come out with a victory after that tough loss last week to USF. Look at that donkey go. Temple Owls will be receiving the ball first. And he's not going to bring this one out. So the Temple Owls will be starting with the ball from the 25-yard line. So we get a look at Hunter Smith here, the senior running back with 400 rushing yards on the year. Looking for him to have a big day here in the American Conference game against the Army Black Knights. 1st and 10. Offense out on the field. Tramel Jones leading the way. Going to dump the screen pass out for no gain. Looked like it should have been a loss there, but no gain on 1st down. Moving on to 2nd and 10. Let's see if the Owls can get the offense going, and they will get a run out to the left side by Keenan Jones. Looks like he's going to pick up about 4 yards there. Not bad. 3rd and 6. Let's see if the Owls can go ahead and convert here, pick up the 1st down, as they will hit Lamar Johnson Fuller coming across the field to pick up, look like exactly 6 yards. Moving on to a 1st and 10. Up the middle goes Hunter Smith, picking up a big gain. Nice run of 7 yards there. 2nd and 3. Going to hand it off to Keenan Jones, who has nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard, making it yet another 3rd down for the Owls. Tramel Jones calling for the ball. Going to hit another man coming across the field, and it's going to be a big chunk gain here for a 1st down for the Owls, making it 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Owls after just having to throw the ball away. Tramel Jones is going to hand it off this time and go nowhere. So we'll have a 3rd and 14 here for the Owls. Let's see if they can go ahead and convert their third down on this drive. Man coming across the field, and he does make the catch, but he's not going to have the yards. 10-yard pickup, making it 4th and 4. Will the Owls go for it, or are they just going to punt it away? Tramel Jones with his 100th completion of this season. And it looks like the Owls are going to stay on the field here and go for it on 4th and 4. Test the Army Black Knights early. Try to pick up a 1st down and keep this drive alive. And they will. 1st down. Nice pass from Tramel Jones to the tight end there as he picks up the 1st down and much, much more after that. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Temple Owls, creeping up into the red zone here. Snap of the ball. More pressure getting to Tramel Jones. He's just going to throw it away. Smart play there. 2nd and 10 for the Owls. Man open in the middle of the field, and he drops it. Tight end's not going to be able to hold on to the ball. So we have yet another 3rd down coming up here for the Temple Owls. 3rd and long. See if they can convert yet another 3rd down on this opening drive. Nowhere to go for Tramel Jones. He's going to scramble and break a tackle. Let's see if he does not have the speed. Oh, he breaks 2 more tackles, but he doesn't have the speed. Only picks up 5 yards on that play. Let's check out this replay here. Tramel rolls out, breaks the tackle, and then he's going to break 2 more tackles, but just isn't fast enough. But that was a good way to stay on his feet there as he tries to pick up the 1st down, but only gains 5 yards. So it will be 4th and 5 here for the Owls. And this time around, they will elect to kick a field goal and try to just get some points on the yard here. Points on the board here in the 1st quarter. And the ball's up. The field goal is good. Temple Owls will get points on their 1st drive in this game. 3-0 Temple. All right. After the touchback, the Army Black Knights are going to start with the ball here. 1st and 10. Looking to see if they can make something happen on their opening drive. And excuse me, it wasn't a touchback. Kick return out to the 14-yard lines as the quarterback runs up the middle there, tries to get something. Only gains about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Army Black Knights, who love to run this option offense, so don't expect to see too much passing here. And they are going to run a speed option, triple option, I should say, out to the left-hand side and pick up the 1st down. So first down of the day for the Army Black Knights. 1st and 10 coming up here from about the 24-yard line. So he pitches out to the pitch man, and he's going to go nowhere. Upended there, making it 2nd and 12. What a tackle for a loss. Yeah, that option stuff. The Temple Owls today want to definitely force the Army Black Knights to pass, as they don't have to. Ooh, big hit there on Zion Chris, the quarterback, but he does pick up the first down, making it 1st and 10 yet again for the Army Black Knights. Slowly moving down the field. Pitch out to the fullback, and he gets a good block. He's going to pick up a lot more, and yet another first down for the Army Black Knights, as Temple has not been able to stop this option offense so far this game. Army just having their way as they run a quarterback. Wow, quarterback power out to the left-hand side, and he gets upended there. But yes, he picks up another 1st down and 10 for the Army Black Knights, just marching down the field. Man in motion, and it's going to be a speed option picked out the air by Trevor Holton, the star cornerback. The star defensive back is at the 10, the 5, the touchdown. They're not going to touch him as he just walks into the end zone, picking that ball out the air. It's going to be a fumble recovery, but man, what a play there for the defensive touchdown for the Temple Owls. Let's look at this replay. Just picks it right out the air, reads the play perfectly. That option offense isn't going to work all game, and Trevor Holton is going to go to the crib untouched and just walk into the end zone, take a bow. Well done. Next drive for the Army Black Knights, 1st and 10 after the defensive touchdown last drive. And they're going to try to go up the middle and get nothing. I think Temple is starting to catch on to this option defense as they stop that play quickly there. Let's see if they'll let the Army Black Knights get across midfield again like they did on their first drive. Big defensive touchdown on that last drive. And they're going to run play action and pick up the 1st down, creeping up toward midfield. First pass of the game for the Army Black Knights on some play action there. Wasn't expecting that. See if they can catch Temple sleeping. 1st and 10. Going to hand it off on the read option and pick up about 8 yards there by the big fullback, number 33. 2nd and 10 coming up for Army. See if they can convert this short yardage down. Another read option, and he's going to go up the middle. This is a more shifty running back here, number 16 for the Black Knights. Does pick up the 1st down. No problem there. So another 1st and 10, and the Army Black Knights did get across midfield. Temple's not bringing any pressure as they try to run the fullback dive again, but he's not going to go anywhere. Losing a yard here to end the 1st quarter. Second and 11 here to start the 2nd quarter off for Army. Man comes in motion, and he's going to, quarterback Zion Chris is going to keep it and get blasted again. Temple is really laying the smack down on the quarterback Zion Chris today, trying to see if they can, get him, I don't want to say injured, but, wear him out a little bit. But it is going to be 1st down. Another pass here from Army, and they are going to pick up some decent yardage here. Gain of 7 with the pass out to the left-hand side. 2nd and 3 coming up as the Army Black Knights approach the red zone. Quarterback under center, of course. Man in motion once again. Going to be a pitch out to the fullback, and he does pick up yet another 1st down. His tempo is just a little bit too slow to close on the ball there. So it'll be 1st down, getting closer and closer to the red zone. Army definitely wants to try and cut into this deficit as they run another fullback dive as he picks up a gain of 3. Not much you can do with the option offense, but they do run it pretty effectively. So Temple continues to let them drive down the field. 2nd and 7 with about 7 minutes left. Pitch out to the motion man. Oh, what a poor tackle attempt. Oh, and he's going to keep going, but get knocked down hard on the left-hand side at about the 2-yard line. If he would have put his shoulder down, he maybe could have tried to get into the end zone there, but nevertheless, a big gain there for the Army Black Knights. See if they can punch in a touchdown on this drive. And he will get into the end zone, give it back to the shifty number 16. But on a dive play that time, touchdown Army, cutting into the lead of Temple, making it 10-6. And hold on, looks like Army's going to go for 2 here instead of settling for the extra point. See if they can get in the end zone, make it 10-8 as they fake and run a play action. Zeon Chris doesn't have anybody, but he's not going to be able to stay on his feet and get into the end zone. Temple with a nice stop there. 1st and 10 coming up for Temple after holding the Black Knights to 6 points when they went for a 2-point conversion. Temple wants to continue to pound the ball, see if they can get down the field. And Hunter Smith's going to hit a nice crease there and pick up 9 yards on the first down run. Great first play for Temple. 2nd and 1 coming up here from the another handoff, but this time it's to running back Keenan Jones as he has a nice gain as well. That Army defense is looking a little bit soft up the middle. Temple might just be able to have their way running the football. 1st and 10 coming up here. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Tramel Jones back to pass from the shotgun here. Has a man out to the flat as he makes the catch. It's going to be Keenan Jones, but he steps out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 4 when he could have had much, much more. 2nd and 4 for Temple. Just across midfield, and it's going to be pressure on Tramel Jones. The Army D-line has been in his face pretty much all game. He's not able to get that pass. Well, he's able to get that pass off there, but it falls incomplete. 3rd and 4. And they're going to hand it off on the 3rd and 4, and it's not going to pay off. 4th and 2. Nice stop there by Army. And it looked like Temple was going to go ahead and punt, but I think Coach Infamous Matt is having second guesses. He called a timeout here, and the offense is back on the field, looking to go for it on 4th and 2 as they're slightly across midfield. And this could be a turning point in the game if they don't convert here. It'll put Army in great field position to just run the ball down the field and potentially run the rest of the clock out, take the lead before the half. But Temple is going to convert as they hit the man coming across the middle of the field there. 1st down, Temple, keeping the drive alive yet again. Tramel Jones in the gun gets the snap, looking to see who's open, and then he has nobody, so he's going to take off, pick up a decent gain there. Gain of 8 for the big quarterback, Tramel Jones. His 2nd rushing attempt for 13 yards on the day. So 2nd and 2 for the Temple Owls. Handing it off to the left. Hunter Smith has nobody in front of him. Let's see if he can juke a man, and good defense there by the Army Black Knights. He's not going to be fooled at all. Nice gang tackle to bring Hunter Smith down before he could do any more damage. But it will be a 1st down for the Owls. First and 10. Snap of the ball. Tramel Jones scanning the field, looking, and he's going to take off yet again on this drive. Pick up a nice gain of 9 yards there, bringing up 2nd and 1. He's done a pretty good job escaping the pocket when he has to and when he can, picking up yards here, not taking unnecessary sacks, and then going to hand it off to Hunter Smith, and he's not going to get it, just back to the line of scrimmage. So it will be 3rd down once again for Temple as they're inside of the 10-yard line here, looking to punch it in before the half. Hand off, and he's not going to go anywhere. What a big loss of 9 yards there. I mean, let's take a look at the offensive line pulling here, and they're just going to run past their assignments. Number 54, the left guard, just doesn't touch anybody. Should have hit that linebacker coming through untouched, but instead he wanted to run to the end zone and get ready to celebrate a touchdown. That did not happen, causing a loss of 9 yards on the play. I mean, just runs right past him. Maybe he needs to get his eyes checked. I don't know how his insurance is. Needs to go to the eye doctor. But Temple's going to go ahead and get 3 points on the board here anyway. Their offense has only been able to manage 2 field goals. A little bit disappointing, but nevertheless, it's 13-6 here as Army lines up with 2:38 left in the half. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And option out to the left-hand side. Zeon Chris going to cut it up again and get smacked down hard. But he does have the 1st down, so it looks like it is all worth it. First and 10, Army got a man in motion yet again. Another speed option out to the right-hand side, and Zeon is not going to be able to pitch that ball there. 2nd and 11 coming up after the 2-minute timeout here in West Point. All right, back from the commercial break. 2 minutes, or excuse me, 2nd and 11, another man in motion, but this time it's going to be a reverse out to the left-hand side, and Zion Chris is upended there. Nice tackle by Jet White, the corner, coming in, getting the tackle for loss, making this going to be a 3rd and 17 with a minute 31 left to go in the half. Let's see if Army's going to put the ball in the air or just give it back to Temple here before halftime. Definitely going to try to run some clock off with a man in motion, and Zion Chris is going to drop back to pass and get under pressure, and he's going to go down for the sack. What a play by Reggie Jones there. Timeout, Temple. They're going to try to get the ball back and see if they can march down the field and get another score. 1st and 10 with a minute and 9 seconds left. Play action pass on 1st down. Not sure that fooled anybody, but it is going to be a catch there for a 1st down. Nice pass by Tramel Jones, making the right read. Temple in the hurry up, trying to save that last timeout they have, see if they can at least get in field goal range here. As Tramel Jones is going to have nowhere to go, and he's down, injured on the field. He gets up, but he's going to limp off to the sideline. That is going to force Temple to burn that last timeout automatically. So it'll be 2nd and 21 with 54 seconds left to go. No timeouts, and backup quarterback Eli Baggs is now into the game. Let's see what Temple's game plan is here before the half. And he's going to try to hit his man, but he was double covered. It's going to fall incomplete. So incomplete pass there, making it 3rd and 21. See if Temple's going to come out and pass Tramel Jones back into the game. That is good to see. Looks like his injury wasn't too severe at all, as he just missed one play. Drop back to pass and have nowhere to go, and he's going to get hit, and the ball's out. The ball's out, and Army has recovered the fumble. We saw this last week with the USF Bulls, and Temple just trying to get too much, and Army's going to hoist the axe up in the air. Looks like a combat axe or tomahawk maybe. Fire the cannons. Army forcing the turnover right before the half. Miles Graham, the big will linebacker, hit Tramel Jones. And maybe Tramel Jones is feeling a little bit of the effects of that injury. Maybe he came back in the game too early trying to help his team out as he loses the ball there on the sack, putting Army into a great position here as they come out 1st and 10 in the shotgun formation, already in the red zone. You would think that they have to get points on the board here. Sound like there was a dog in the studio, but nevertheless, it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for Army here, trying to score before the half. They have all 3 timeouts, and he's going to dump it out to the flat. Pickup of 8 there, making it 3rd and 2, 36 seconds, 3 timeouts for Army, and they are passing the ball here. See if they can get a touchdown and potentially tie this game up at the half. Pitch out to the fullback, and he's going to go nowhere, and he dropped the ball. Picked up by DeCamber for Temple, and he's not going to be touched. He's going to go all the way to the end zone at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Temple Owls as he dives into the end zone in style. But I don't know if the fullback was down there on that play. Definitely going to have to review this one because it was close. But that would be crazy if Temple just turned the ball over and then Army turned the ball over for a touchdown before the half, as the Army vets are confused. And he looks like he's down. DeCamber picked the ball up, but it definitely looked like the fullback was down before the ball came up. So I think this call is going to be overturned here as they're reviewing it up in the booth now to see. Let's take a closer look here with another replay. Pitch out to the fullback. He's going to get hit there by Kerry Brown, and the ball comes out at that point. Let's see. Looks like we have his knee and shin down. So I don't think this is going to stand, but further review is being done by the officials. Yeah, it looks like he still has control of the ball, and it pops out there. Looked like the ground caused the fumble as the camera comes and scoops it up, takes it all the way to the crib, and it stands. After further review, the play stands. I can't believe it because it looked like the fullback was down, but Temple's going to go ahead and get the extra point there, making it 20-6, 23 seconds left to go in the half. So 1st and 10 after turning the ball over in their own red zone. Unfortunate series of events for Army as they're just going to try to run the clock out here. Zion Chris going to keep the ball, but nothing going for him. Back to the line of scrimmage as we're going to head to the half here. Halftime stats. Let's take a look at the defense. 128 yards allowed by Temple, 108 by Army. 2 turnovers forced by Temple, 1 turnover forced by Army. But the big difference here, the Temple Owls defense has scored twice now in this game. The offense has not scored a touchdown. So 14 of the points are from the defense, here, as Army's going to start with the ball in the second half, looking to see if they can turn things around, running more of that speed option. Not going to go anywhere. Zeon Chris tackled for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 coming up here for Army, and they're going to hand it off to shifty number 16 as he's not going to go anywhere. Small 4-yard gain here. Let's see if Army's going to put the ball in the air. And they are. Play action, and it's not going to go anywhere. Temple is not fooled. Looked like they had a pep talk there as they get the stop, making it 1st and 10 for Temple here after the punt. Hand off to Hunter Smith, who has a nice gain, nice hole to run through. Nice gain of about 11 yards there. 1st and 10 Temple. Another handoff here, but it's going to be shiftier. Running back Keenan Jones. He never has anywhere to go. Small gain of 1 yard there. 2nd and 9 coming up here as Temple's back out in the gun. And sack there for Tramel Jones Jr. Nowhere to go. 3rd and 19 coming up here. Obvious passing situation for Temple as they do drop back to pass. And is that Eli Baggs, the backup in there? He does make the completion to Lamar Johnson Fuller, but that certainly is Eli Baggs. It looks like Tramel Jones is not in the game, nursing that injury that he sustained earlier in the first half. But 1st and 10 for Army, and they run, guess what, a fullback dive for a short gain there. 2nd and 9 coming up for Army. And the read option, Zeon Chris is going to keep it, and he has room out to the right-hand side, and he's going to get hit down hard yet again by the safety. But Zeon Chris, 13 attempts, 48 yards on the day. I believe that was his biggest gain, his biggest rush there. But Army's just going to run as much as they can. Pitch out to the fullback. He's going to go nowhere. Loss of 3. 2nd and 13. I think Army's going to have to put the ball up in the air if they want to try to get back into this one. As they do, look for a pass here. Zeon Chris is going to run, though, and slide down after only a gain of 2 as he had a linebacker in his face ready to lay the smack down. And another play action there for Army, and Zeon Chris is just going to get popped on the play, but we do have an injury. Russell Sykes the 4th for Temple. Looks like he's going to be down for at least a play as he was injured on that one. After the punt, Temple is going to come back onto the field with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 as quarterback Eli Baggs is manning the offense again. Hands it off to Keenan Jones for a gain of nothing. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Army. Tramel Jones, I would presume, is done for the day. Eli Baggs is going to take over here with the dump out to Keenan Jones, who has nowhere to go yet again. Back-to-back stops on running back Keenan Jones there, but that time on a pass play. Loss of 2, making the 3rd and 12. Running back Hunter Smith back into the game here. But Temple's going to drop back to pass and try to pick up a 1st down, but Eli Baggs has space out to the right-hand side, and he's not fast enough to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 9. And Temple's going to punt the ball away to Army there smartly as they run out across midfield. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Black Knights, running the speed option out to the right. Pitches out to the shifty running back, jukes a man, but still loses 1 as the Temple defense is flying around now for this option offense. Looks like they're bringing pressure, and they do blitz a man, but it opens up the slant there. That's going to be caught for a gain of 8. Nice tackle by Trevor Holton, preventing any more damage on that play. 3rd and 2 coming up for Army, looking to get across midfield here and get back into this game. Only down 14, and he's going to get stuffed. Zeon Chris back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Looks like Army is going to stay on the field here and try to pick up the 1st down. Try to get across midfield and get some points on the board if they can. And Temple brings pressure, but not enough. People are out of their gaps as the fullback jukes out to the right-hand side, picks up a huge gain, getting all the way down to the 15-yard line. Well inside the red zone. 1st down Army. That is all the momentum they needed to keep this drive alive and try and get in the end zone here. Cut into this deficit as they run another halfback dive. Only for a gain of 2. Not much going there. And their offense is really milking the clock. 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Nice read option play by Zeon Chris, but he doesn't have enough speed there to get to the outside and try and get in the end zone. So it'll be 3rd and 6 coming up for Army, trying to score before the end of the quarter. And another read option play, and he does give it to the back there who has nowhere to go. Nice containment there by the edge. 4th and 6 when we get back from the 3rd quarter. Taking a look at the top 25 rankings, we have Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, and Penn State in the top 4 positions for the college football playoff. Neither one of these American Conference teams are even ranked, but it'll be 4th and 6 here for Army coming up at the start of the 4th quarter. Man in motion. They're going to fake the pitch and try and run a bootleg, and the ball's out yet again. And the play was blown dead as who's that? Kerry Brown forcing another fumble, a second forced fumble on the day. Zeon Chris drops the ball, and then the refs blow the whistle as if this is flag football, because unless the running back's knee touched, not sure why they stopped that play. But nevertheless, it is going to be a turnover on down, so it'll be 1st and 10 coming up for Temple, looking to see if they can drive down the field and extend this lead, run some time off the clock. Eli Baggs drop back to pass, and he throws a risky one that is caught there. Wow. Lamar Johnson Fuller with the contested catch in between 2 defenders to pick up the 1st down. And they're going to hand this one off to Hunter Smith after that risky pass by Eli Baggs. Nice gain of about 9 there for Hunter Smith. 2nd and a little bit to go here, as Temple's just barely crossed midfield. And another handoff to Keenan Jones, who, guess what, has nowhere to go. 3rd and 5 coming up after a loss of 5. Eli Baggs nowhere to go, and he's going to get hit hard, but we do have a flag on the play. I think this is going to be intentional grounding, as Eli was not out the pocket and just threw that ball away. So we're going to get a 4th and long here for Temple. Temple just punted the ball back to Army after that 4th and long, who runs another speed option to Zeon Chris. If he could have got that ball out, that probably would have been a touchdown, as nobody was out there for the running back, but he could not. So it'll be 2nd and 9 coming up for Army. Snap by Zeon Chris, looking to pass. They always run play action, and that slows the offense up. It's going to be a sack there, making it 3rd and 15. Nice sack by Temple. That play action just takes too long for him to get the ball out. Need to just go to a drop back shotgun formation, you'd imagine, because Army's still very much still in this ball game. As they run another play action, Zeon Chris scanning the field. He's going to throw it out behind the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle there by the safety, Kerry Brown, coming up to stop the running back. So it'll be 4th and 9. Scanning, looking, and it's going to be incompleted. Nearly picked off there by the corner, but it'll be a turnover on downs instead. Temple's going to start with the ball on the Army 23-yard line. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. Run to Hunter Smith up the middle. Nice gain of 7. Temple's going to try to punch the ball in here for sure, as there's plenty of time left to do so. Another run here, just trying to run the clock down. But this time, Hunter Smith's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 3. See if Temple's going to run in. They don't. Eli Baggs drop back to pass, and he hits a man who drops it. It was not complete, actually. So 4th and 3. Let's see if Temple's going to go 3 and out and give the ball right back to Army. And they won't. Nice pass out there to the left-hand side. Guess who? Lamar Johnson Fuller, who picks up the 1st down, gets Temple to within the 5-yard line, and they're going to hand it off to Hunter Smith. Breaks it to the outside and reaches for the end zone and gets in, extending this lead for Temple. Hunter Smith, nice reach into the end zone there. Even though he lost the ball, he broke the plane, so it will be a touchdown for Hunter Smith and the Temple Owls. As he jukes out to the right side after having nothing going up the middle, sticks his arm out across the goal line. Touchdown, Temple. After that last touchdown, it extends the lead to 27-6 for Temple. 1st and 10 coming up for Army with 4 minutes, and they are running out of time. Screen pass out to the left-hand side, and guess what? Another loss on the day. 2nd and 15 coming up for Army. And it's pretty much over for Army. Their offense isn't explosive enough as they do drop back to pass. No play action, but it's going to fall incomplete, making it 3rd and 15 as they just try to do anything. Army is grasping for straws here. Another shotgun pass for Zion Chris, and he has a man coming across the field, but he's not quick enough to get to the first down. So it will be 4th and 5 coming up for Army as they are back under center. Can't imagine they will run the football here. And they don't. Zion Chris will drop back to pass, and he had a man, but he did not have any time. Temple closed in fast. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for Temple now with 3:47 left in the game. Going to hand it off again to Hunter Smith as they really just try to run the clock down and get out of here with the win as they are up 21 on Army. 3 minutes left and hand off to Keenan Jones, who has a little bit of room to run. 3rd and 3. Let's see if Eli Baggs will put the ball in the air, and he will. Looks like it's going to be a screen pass out to Hunter Smith, who makes the catch, picks up the first down, tries the juke man, and has nowhere to go. So it'll be 1st and goal for Army at the 10-yard line as we hit the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes left in the game. I think Temple's still going to try to score here as Hunter Smith's going to cut it up the middle. And if he could have broke that tackle, he would have got into the end zone. But it will be second and goal from the 2-yard line. Temple's absolutely going to try to punch the ball in here. Handing it off to Keenan Jones, who's going to walk into the end zone untouched. Do your two-step, Keenan. Haven't had that good of a game, but you do get the touchdown here late to extend this lead. At this point, the game is pretty much out of reach for Army as it's 34-6, minute 17 seconds left. And it's not pretty much out of reach, it's absolutely out of reach as they run more triple options. Just looking to get out of here without any injuries and run the rest of this clock out. And another triple option out to the left-hand side. This time, Zion Chris is going to get tackled. 20 carries for him, 41 yards on the day. It's averaging about 2 yards a carry, which lets you know how Army's day has gone against this Temple defense. And that'll be the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get the win against Army in West Point, putting up 34 points to their 6. We did pitch a second half shutout. Shout out to the defense. Player of the game is Hunter Smith, 68 carries, 15 attempts, and a touchdown. But really, the player of the game is our defense, holding Army to 6 points and scoring twice. Gotta love that. Shout out to the defense. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the episode here. We'll be able to just get some more skill points. We are in the elite, not elite, just the regular recruiter tree, trying to get to elite. Yeah, just trying to build this out to take less time to fully scout since we don't have that many hours. But like I said, that has been episode 2 of the Temple Owls Dynasty. I'm Infamous Matt. Please like, comment, subscribe. Grow with me as the channel grows, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.